Author and longtime coach Robert Hargrove tries to succinctly articulate what coaching is all about. Masterful coaches inspire people by helping them recognize the previously unseen possibilities that lay embedded in their existing circumstances. Hi, I'm Elle Page, a professional certified coach through the International Coach Federation. As head of my firm's coaching practice, I oversee 15 coaches, providing over 2,200 hours of coaching each year. I'm here to help you understand the difference between coaching, mentoring, and counseling, terms that are often confused or used interchangeably. If you're going to work with a coach, it's critical that you understand the important and sometimes nuanced differences. A coach is always striving for full objectivity. If the coach is from outside your organization, objectivity comes pretty easily. If you're working with an internal coach, someone with coach training who works within your organization, he or she will be in an area of the organization with which you are less likely to intersect. Ideally, the coach won't know you. This helps maintain that objectivity that is essential in coaching. A coach is focused on your success as you define it, not as the coach defines it. On the other hand, a mentor is often chosen because she knows you, or she's in your area of the organization. You're seeking the mentor's inside knowledge and her thoughts on where you fit and how you're perceived. A mentor is subjective. She has ideas on which path you should follow or on where you can serve the organization best. A mentor might say, "Boy, I had to deal with that. I know just the next step for you." Or, "You need to do this detail, take this class, get this experience." The coach will help you unpack your own thinking about what you want in your leadership program, your current job, and your future. A coach does very little advising. The coach asks questions, is curious, and helps you do some deep self-reflection in areas and corners of your life you haven't yet explored. A coach is going to ask, what is your dream job? When have you been most effective? What gets in your way? In contrast, a mentor does offer advice and counsel. Part of the value he brings is his inside view. He knows the intricacies and politics of the organization, the hidden obstacles, and the right people. He can often use his influence to help remove barriers or gain access to opportunities. Often, the mentor has had a career path that you would like to mirror, and so you're looking to hear advice and counsel from him. Conversely, a coach with that objective approach taps into your ideas, your previous training, experiences, and wisdom to have you apply those to a current challenge. A coach, using tools such as questions, reframing, and heightened listening, guides you through the thinking process to identify barriers and solutions that fit your unique style, your needs and talents. A coach assumes that you have the best answer for yourself, that you know your style, the people around you, and the current needs of your organization better than the coach, better than anyone. It's the coach's job to get you to dig deep and come up with your own solutions, creating a stronger, more confident you. A mentor can certainly use probing questions, but in the purest sense, a mentor tells you what worked for her and how she solved similar problems or overcame similar obstacles. A mentor is a valuable resource, providing you the benefit of his experience. But what worked for your mentor, with his style and his team, may not work for you. We listen to and appreciate our mentor's perspective and try to make sense of it in terms of our own lives. A coach is helping you gain clarity on your perspective, helping you gain new insights and ahas, and then helping you determine how to apply them for increased effectiveness in your workplace. Then there's counseling. Sometimes as a coaching client, you can feel like you're getting counseling. This is because you're being asked to do deep thinking in areas you may not have explored before, or which feel personal and close to the heart. A coach is trained to draw out your authenticity and to be a champion for you, calling you to operate from your unique core values. But that does not equate to counseling. A counselor is a highly trained, licensed professional who addresses mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, phobias, or problems from the past that are still impacting one's present effectiveness, such as abuse, addiction, divorce. Coaches are trained to assure that they don't step over the line into a counselor's work. So to summarize, here are some key words that distinguish these three different activities or roles. A counselor is a licensed mental health professional. A mentor is an insider, an influencer, an advisor. A coach is objective. She asks questions, listens deeply, and is a catalyst for new learning or a new application of previous learning. The best way to truly understand how coaching is different than mentoring and counseling is to see it. For this unscripted and live session, I've invited Eunice to serve as my client. Watch and see if you think this is different than a typical workplace conversation. I'm excited to get started. How should we spend our time today?
Well, thanks for having me. And I think I'd love to get your thoughts and help on a situation that I have at work right now.
Okay.
And I'll tell you a little bit about it. We have a management change where the senior manager has kind of decided to take a leave of absence, and in his place he put in a new manager. And I'm not sure my former manager is actually going to be coming back. So I'm just assuming the new guy in place is the person I'm going to be reporting to. And well, if it's okay, I'm not going to give you his name, but let's just say his name is John.
Okay.
So John, nice guy, nice enough guy. We used to work together. He headed up another group before, and it was an okay relationship. But one thing about him is that I'm not convinced that he has the senior management capabilities on his side. From what I've seen, have not been impressed.
So what's the concern I hear?
The biggest thing that I have with him is there seems to be some preferential treatment of certain colleagues. And a lot of that is because he was in a different role, he was closer to, people on my team, or closer to people on the team and not close to others. So it kind of is well known that, there might be his posse, if you will.
So what do you want to be different for you?
I would like to kind of, I don't want to, every time I interact with him, I have this thought in the back of my head that there was some preferential treatment. And I need to somehow learn to get that out of my head so that we can start fresh. So I need to give him the benefit of the doubt. And so I kind of need your help.
Well, let me tell you, how great self-awareness that you're aware you have this story in your head.
Yeah.
Because we all do, but you're really aware of it, that you have that filter.
Yes.
So what is that filter saying to you?
Unfortunately, I tend to discount. Whenever we're having a conversation, I tend to discount what he's saying, which is terrible, which I know is terrible. And so I'm trying very hard every time I have a one-to-one conversation or even in a team meeting to give him the same kind of respect and treatment that I gave our former manager, but they have such different personalities.
So when you say you discount him, it's because you don't respect him?
I fear that might be the case.
Okay. So you have, this voice is kind of reminding you he treats people differently, maybe even unfairly. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
And so therefore I don't respect you.
And a lot of it is that our former manager has an enormous amount of EQ, if you will, and a high level IQ, but really the EQ part. And John, the new manager, lacks EQ.
So he has low emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And is that a piece of the disrespect you have for him?
I think so, because I've seen the way that he's handled meetings and spoken to people, and as people have moved onto different teams, even the email and the communication style is so opposite of what the former manager was like that it's hard to deal with change. So a portion of this is change, right? Which I'm completely aware of, and I need to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, but it's just hard getting that out of my mind. So,
yeah. And I'm wondering if it's really hard to get things out of your mind. You said it just right. So I'm wondering if we can just shift to a different thought. Can we play with something here?
Sure.
I'm wondering, when have you seen John with high EQ?
I'm struggling to actually think of a time.
Okay, well just take a moment. See if you can think of a time.
I guess in certain client situations and client meetings, when it's expected of everyone to have a higher level of EQ when you're talking to a client, he's done a good job of trying to better understand a client situation and kind of listening to what they're saying, particularly if there's like a family dynamic issue. And he's generally okay in client situations. I think my concern is how he manages the internal team, not the external clients. If that makes sense.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So you've seen him do this well with clients, which is certainly important. So he has these skills. It's something about the filter that you're looking through, and I'm trying to help you identify it so that you can remove it.
Right.
And so does he all of a sudden switch? What happens when he deals with the people in the office versus the clients?
He's a better listener when in a client situation versus internal meetings. There are certain managers where it's the carrot and the stick approach. He's stick all the time. And I think there's a lot of pressure on, so I can try to understand like where he's feeling the pressure and how he's kind of passing that along to the rest of his colleagues. But I don't know what I can do to change my thoughts and also maybe even help facilitate the way he handles himself.
So I'm wondering what it would be like if you gave him some feedback.
I could do that.
Sounds like he listens. He knows how to listen well in one situation.
Yeah.
You'd like him to apply it in another.
Right.
And then there's a piece there too about, let's just stick with your impact. You probably operate better with a carrot than a stick. Is that what I'm hearing?
I would agree with that.
Okay, so let's again play with one of these. Which one do you want to talk about? His listening or his carrot and stick?
Probably his carrot and stick.
Okay. So what do you need to say to him about that? Let's just try something.
I guess I could, we have one-on-one meetings every other week. And I guess I could try and just explain to him how I respond to his communication style and maybe give him a suggestion on how to communicate with me and vice versa.
So let's just try it, just cold. What would you say if I were John?
So, John, let me think about this for a minute.
Yeah.
So,
take your time.
John, I know that you're new to this role. You've been in this role for 6 months, and you have a certain communication style. I just want to share with you, and I can use a specific example that when you said X, Y, Z to me, this is what I heard, and maybe and I understand that you have really great intentions, but if you maybe said it this way, it would have resonated a little bit more, and I would have taken it less personally. So I guess that would be.
How does it feel?
It feels good, yeah, and hopefully, and less personal, right? Less of a criticism.
Well, and I think to me, what it sounds like is you're helping me be more effective with you.
Yeah.
So instead of criticizing me, John, it sounds like you're helping me be more effective with you. So I wondered if the only phrase I might change is, I could have heard that better.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I could have heard it when you said this. I could have heard it better if you said this.
Yeah.
So how about we try it again?
Okay. John, when we sat down a couple weeks ago, we had discussed the prospect situation, and when you said XYZ, I would have heard it better if you had said ABC. And I understand that your intentions are really good, so I appreciate that part, but would hear it better if it was just, maybe posed in a different manner.
Oh.
What do you think?
Again, it really comes across just as giving me information.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's personal on me. You're not
Yeah.
saying I'm a horrible person or I'm a bad communicator or I have no EQ.
Right.
You're helping me be more successful with you.
Good.
How courageous do you feel about that?
I feel like I can do it because it's not personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how would that change the dynamic? Just doing that one feedback piece, how will that change how you view him?
I'm not sure how it will change how he views me, but it makes me feel better because I said what I had to say. Right? And then hopefully that'll clear the slate. It may not immediately, but it'll be good for me to say that.
Yeah, you've taken a step in establishing some real openness and honesty in your relationship, but in a respectful way.
Yeah.
And you've role modeled some really good EQ.
Yeah. That's great. Well, thank you.
Nicely done. Thank you.
So what did you think? Was that different than a typical workplace conversation? In a moment, you'll have an opportunity to share your thoughts and observations with your in-person facilitator. Having seen it, you may also be feeling a bit apprehensive. Maybe you're not used to talking about yourself or having you be the focus of the conversation. Maybe you're not used to deep self-reflection. There is a feeling of vulnerability in coaching because coaching pushes you out of your comfort zone to get you to soar. Most people find coaching exciting, challenging, and extremely effective. A positive, energizing growth experience. When provided in leadership programs, coaching is most often cited as the best part of the program. In summary, coaching is a simple and powerful conduit for hearing your own wisdom. Discoveries made through the coaching process will serve you in your current challenges and your future effectiveness, preparing you for your next level of leadership. Enjoy the journey.